Everyone desired to go there and be a part of this great glory called America. Read.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
All the kings have laid down with her. Now they're paying. Now they are all paying. Read.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
The whole earth got rich. All the kings got rich off of this this incorporation of the earth. They all got rich. Read.
Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven.
Now the Most High is speaking. Saying what?
Saying, come out of her, my people.
My people that were scattered in that land, you better make your way out of there. Come out of her, my people. If you're down with me, move away from the wrath that's coming. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
There's no way possible you can live in that country and not sin. It's utterly impossible. It's too much opportunity to do wrong. And to do right is evil spoken of. Read.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Because if you stay in that country, you're going to receive the plagues, which are the missiles coming to that country. Read.
Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Her sins have reached unto heaven. Now the Most High can see her sins. Why? She have launched ships and made space stations in the heavenly realm. They have placed weapons in space. Why? What are you fighting? Instilling fear in the populace, making them think that space invaders or some alien is going to come out from nowhere. The alien they're talking about is Christ. This, just space invaders. We got to protect ourselves from the unknown. You know exactly what's coming out. They tell you in the book of Acts, when they seen him float up in a cloud, the angel says, listen, don't be alarmed here, because the way you see him leaving is the way he's coming back. He's coming through the clouds. So now they're out in space. The Most High says their sin have reached into heaven. Read.
And the Most High have remembered her iniquities.
We forget, but the Most High never forgets. Because where the Most High is, there is no time. He's not subject to time or space. So it was just like yesterday when they started erecting all these Masonic, Canaanitish symbols to these different gods. I heard over in Rome, they got all types of things erected in Rome. In London, they got all types of things erected in in London. America had built a whole city on Masonic principles. A whole city. Obelisks, 5-pointed stars, and not too far from the White House, they got a big statue referencing Albert Pike, a Mason.
Founder of the KKK?
Yeah, the founder of the KKK. You know Albert Pike was Jewish? This guy was not an elected official. What is they doing with a statue in reverence to Albert Pike? A known sorcerer. This whole thing, that's why the Lord says it had become a habitation of devils. What do they do in Masonic rituals? They do these rituals to allow these spirits to come through vortexes to be controlled within the earth. This is how they gain power in the earth with symbolism. Read.
Revelations chapter 18 verse 6. Reward her, even as she hath rewarded you.
Go ahead.
And double unto her according to her works.
The Most High says double will come on her according to her works. Read.
And the cup which she hath filled to her, and the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Filled to her double. Some people might think or might ask, but why does America need to go through all these countries and continue the war? Why do you need to continue to do this? Why can't they just live in peace? They can't anymore. They have to. Too many enemies. If they just lay back, somebody will do something eventually. Read.
Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall our plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire.
That's the future prophecy according to Revelations. And mind you, usually in the Christian churches, especially in America, it's taboo to read Revelations. Well, what is it What is it doing in the book? If none of the preachers can go into it. No, we just need to read the gospel and the good news of Jesus Christ. None of that is important. That stuff is later. Read.
For strong is the Most High who judgeth her.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her
All the kings that live with her, read,
shall bewail her
they will bewail her. They will cry because of her. Why?
and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
They're going to see the smoke of her burning. Read.
Verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
For in 1 hour is your judgment come. This is going to go down in 1 hour. Read.
Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
See that? People are going to be upset because look how much money they've made trading with America. Read.
Verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones
Go ahead.
and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thyine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and the souls of men.
And the souls of men. People will be crying from all those things they're losing with America off the grid. And the souls of men, because nations come over to America just to take advantage of the people that's there. Look at all the stores that are from other nations and immigrants who come over just to get paid and bring money back to their countries. So that opportunity will soon be gone. Read.
Verse 14. And the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the companies of ships, and sailors.
Now this is right here is how we know it's talking about America. You have some people that don't want to deal with the reality that it's America, would say that Babylon is a Roman Catholic Church. What ships is going into the Vatican? What merchants is trading with the Vatican? This is talking about financial loss here. Read.
Verse 18. And cried, when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by the reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven.
It's going to take 1 hour to deal with hundreds of years of oppression. 1 hour, finished. 1 hour. Now just imagine. Read that last part you were going into there. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Rejoice over her.
The Lord says we now must rejoice over her. Go ahead.
Thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets. For the Most High have avenged you on her.
So now the Most High is avenging the prophets and the teachers on those who have oppressed the prophets and teachers. He's avenging them for oppressing them. Y'all see that? So these are all God's people. He's bringing these wars and destruction and takedown based on the oppression and the death of his people and prophets. Read.
Verse 21. And then a mighty angel took up a stone like a millstone and cast it into the sea.
Go ahead.
Saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
This place will be thrown down through violence. It was built on violence. It's going down through violence. Read.
And shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers.
Some of the best musicians and what else?
And of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee.
All that great American music will be heard no more. Read.
And no craftsman, of whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be no more at all, shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
By your sorcery, all nations was deceived. That's what made us think that it was such a great place. We are under a spell. Yes, we are under a spell. And the Most High is going to snap you right out of it in 1 hour. It's going to take 1 hour totally. You have to realize how they did this in America to really get the people the way they are right now. A top Mason name was Walt Disney. And they used Walt Disney to influence the children to accept the Babylonian lifestyle that would soon be promoted all over the earth. Walt Disney, all his characters were made out of sexual organs. Excuse my language, but it is. All his characters was made out of sexual organs, but it's subliminal to where you can't even see it, but the artist actually started off with sexual images for every character. Walt Disney, he was a top sorcerer. They used him to influence the children to accept the world we have right now. All these guys were top Masons. So that's the future. Keep your eye on what's going on with Iran. If you got a passport, get ready to use it if need be. With that, we're going to say shalom.